Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new review. Behind us is the new Renault Rafale. This is the top spec. This is the Atelier Alpine, and this is the 300 horsepower top spec plug-in hybrid. In this video we're going to take a tour of the exterior and interior details, so without further ado, let's just jump into the detailed review. Here's the beautiful Rafale. Now we have blue, metallic but matte color. You can see all the beautiful contours in this light. Now also reviewed the same spec but in white color in Barcelona. It was a bit shorter video. This time we're going to be more detailed and cover all the details because we have it on test. Now let's show you the key fob and then we're going to continue to the car and the specs. So we have here classical remote lock, unlock, turn on the lights, and you can open or close the power tailgate. This is the dealer just marked the key. If I unlock the car, you can see mirrors unfold. You can see the daytime running lights and headlights are flickering, but in person they're not. This is just on the camera. Now, if I lock the car, you can see those switch to turn signals, and those are the daytime running lights. Now, we also have matrix LED headlights. We're gonna see that in a moment, but before we dive into the car, let me just round up the spec. So, inside is 1.2 liter, 3-cylinder turbocharged petrol, producing 150 horsepower. And we have two electric motors. So this is the four-wheel drive. There's a front electric motor, 68 horsepower, and rear electric motor with 136 horsepower. It's 204 horsepower if you combine them, but the system horsepower between the three engines is rounded up to maximum 300 horsepower. There's also an E-Tech that's 200 horsepower, but that one doesn't have an option to be plugged and charged. So this one's the plug-in hybrid, the 300 horsepower version. Also, it has an AC charger up to 7.3 kilowatts. So it will charge the battery under 3 hours to full capacity. Battery capacity is 22 kilowatts. So it's a 400 volt architecture. It's a lithium ion battery. If you go for the 200 horsepower version, you get only 2 kilowatts, which is also the largest battery for the full hybrid you can get in the Rafale 200. This is the 300. Now, the tech specs out of the way, let's dive into the car. And before we continue, ground clearance is 19 centimeters. You can check the video description for technical details. There's going to be a link and a link for dimensions of this baby. Now, you can keep your key fob in the pocket, but if I approach the car, it's going to unlock. And close up on the color, it just looks gorgeous. It's a metallic. And here, I know this is flickering, but again, it's just on the camera. We can see here Renault LED matrix vision. So these are just like white plastic inside, but we have also these cool diamond shape signatures. Now you can see here, there's actually two lenses and they have this individual parts. So matrix, not to blind other drivers, it creates shadow spots. Now, you can see here the daytime running lights, and I like the fact that we have this nice and sharp details. You can see also the grille with these diamond shape, same as the badge on the front. The badge is, by the way, transparent because it's the radar behind it. We also have a 180 degrees camera, so all four sides of the vehicle we have 360 parking. And you can see this, so when you move the camera, this kind of gives you a 3D effect of the grille. Now, next to the daytime running lights, we have side tunneling for better aerodynamics. Now on the top we have piano black, on the bottom as well, and then a little bit of gray metallic. Now you can see big air intake at the bottom. We have a little protection on the radiator, so air intake here and a little bit here. Huge thanks to Renault Croatia for giving me the car before the review early. Piano black details, you can see the sport lip a little bit, and then we have the arches and continuing to the side skirt on the back of the vehicle, also piano black. Now if I back up, you can see this beautiful color. Really, if I turn on the lights, it really emphasizes the contours of this beautiful SUV. It's a coupe style, but it's just a gorgeous SUV. You're gonna agree with me here. Now let's check out the big alloys. We have 21-inch alloys. In the Atelier Alpine, you get the 21-inch. In the Esprit Alpine, you get the 20-inch alloys. So Very comfortable suspension, it's adaptive. It's also camera based. You have a camera on the top which scans the road and then adapts the suspension accordingly. You have a soft comfort suspension, dynamic, and sport. Now, open design, but a bit more close towards the edge here, so for less drag, better fuel efficiency and power efficiency, but also good looks. Diamond cut, silver on black, or looks grayish because it's a little bit dusty. We have beautiful diamond caps here, and this is the dimension 245/40 R21. Now these tires were refitted from the factory. The car comes with summer tires, so this is a good choice for this car. Now you can see once up close on the new badge. Black metallic side contrasting mirrors, big turn signals. There's that cameras for 360 parking. There's a puddle light. I will do separate night tour of this car. Blind spot physical, and we have the blind spot warning. It's a little bit windy outside, so I'm hoping you can hear me well. I do have an exterior mic for wind noise. So you can see here speakers. We have 12 speakers inside. There's another one here. It's Harman Kardon. We have a rain sensor and lane assist camera. Now we also have a heated windshield. You can see that. Double glazed front windshield, so better acoustics. We also have panoramic roof. Now this one has a crystal layer, so when you change the current, you change orientation of the crystals from this to this, and then they let more light inside or they block light. That is that. You can see the shark fin antenna on the back, and the spoiler is tunneling air at the bottom, and it has this like little ears on the back in black. Now if I back up, you can see the whole profile of the car and the coupe design. Now also we have piano black on the top, rubber at the bottom. You can see here 4 control on the B pillar, tinted windows on the back. Not to forget, on the driver's side you can pop this one. There's a physical key cylinder behind that plastic piece. Now, interesting detail here, you're gonna notice here Renault and Mitsubishi, they partnered up, so you know that the Captur, you can buy it as the Mitsubishi version as well. You cannot buy this model as a Mitsubishi, that's for sure. Now, this is the back end. If I use the remote to turn on the lights, you can see those. If I lock the car, you can see these are dynamic turn signals. Now, just to show you close-up of these Lexus style LED taillights, these are actually pinkish in person. They're not really red. At night they look more red, just like on the new Clio. Now the top you can see here from a different angle, so there's this spoiler as well on the back end part of the body. Or the tailgate, you can see the badge and model name Rafale, and blue E-Tech for the plug-in hybrid. The standard E-Tech full hybrid has gold badge, if I'm not mistaken. Piano black bottom. You can see LED reverse lights, fog lights, and cat eyes. There's this piano black and a little bit gray. You can see here the exhaust pipe. So I'm checking, I think it's only one exhaust pipe on the left. Now, there are 2 cold lights for the license plate illumination. There's a button here to open, and you saw the camera. I'm gonna use the key fob. So I'm a 2-meter tall person, or 6.6 in feet. Now, this opens fairly tall. Let me just show a comparison. Now, you can program the height by manually lowering, holding the button until you hear a confirmation sound. So this is not for opening, it's again underneath there. On the top, this is plain, as you can see. Now, this shelf can be removed here, but it's 2 parts. It's this one and this one. They can both be taken out. You can put a longer umbrella there. We have speaker on the back. Now, seats knock down either 60-40 or 40-40-20. You can knock down the middle from the inside. And we have a spacious hatchback or liftback. This is 630 liters of cargo space. When you knock down the seats, 1,900 liters. That is very generous. We have aluminum doorstep here. There's like maybe 7 fingers of height from the loading area to the bottom here, so times 2, around 14 centimeters. Now if I take my backpack out, you can see the space inside. Now you get your Type 2 for Schuko for home charging, and you get your Type 2 for public AC charging. Now stay with me. If I move that one there, I'm gonna put that one just on top of it. On the right side, we have this pocket here. We have grocery hooks, 2 of them on each side. We have a 12-volt outlet on the right. On the left, same, but we have cold light for the cargo room. Now, as you can see in those corners, we have 2 latch points. If we pull this up, well, here you can see there's additional 2 latch points on both sides. And this is what you get. Since this is the plug-in hybrid, I think the full hybrid and the plug-in hybrid have the same cargo room. There's a little extra room here and there, so you can put a fire extinguisher, but that's it. But I think it's still very generous. Let's close it up. So the back closes and it's not too loud. That's great. You can press here, it automatically opens up. There's an AC charge port. So again, 7.3 kilowatts charges the battery under 3 hours to full capacity. You can see the beautiful back end. Now I've left the GFN zone, the car locks. When I re-enter it, it unlocks. Let's see here, open, close. Now the rear doors are a bit lighter. They do not sound great as the front doors when you close them. They open nice and wide. It's very windy today, but really good soundproof, good seals. You can push down here to lock from the inside if you have kids. And if you rinse the car, the doors go all the way down. For the most part, this area will be dry. This one will be wet. You can see here stains from the droplets. Roman 5, this is a factory tinted glass. Now on the back, hard plastic, same as at the bottom. Now on the front, you're gonna have soft touch materials there, but this is softly padded. This is even more padded, so covered with leatherette. We have the contrasting stitching, all power windows, 2 speakers here and here. This is a flint in blue, big pockets. They really look posh thanks to that. Big handles in piano black. Plastic step. We have rich carpets in blue. They kind of make the interior a little bit more posher. Now here you can see textile. Here's leatherette and Alcantara. Then here it's perforated with blue background. Also you can see the zippers for the ISOFIX if you have a child seat. And you can see beautiful interior. We also have these blue stitching on the seat belts. View at the top. Now this one is now tinted. It's not transparent. We're going to show that later. You have the little airplane on the top and those touch lights, which are warm lights. Now you can put a seat belt here, so it's not in the way if you pull this little tab to knock down the rear bench. Now you can see the inside space. Okay. So you can take this out. Okay, so just wiggle it a little bit. Not too strong. There we go. So put it back into place. Now I'm gonna jump inside. Okay, this has an easy entry. So the seat is a bit lowered and a little bit tight for your feet room because the plug-in hybrid has batteries on the front and the rear. The full hybrid has only on the front, so it's a little bit limited here, but if the seat goes a little bit upwards, it will be fine. Plenty of knee room, and you can see here this is all covered by leather. Have big net here. You can adjust these. You can see the button, you can raise it. On the back here you can see AC vents, 2 USB-Cs for fast charging. They're also illuminated at night. And we have this wide, not too tall transmission tunnel. I believe this is maybe a service hatch for the batteries. That's that. Let's hear the closing sound here. Good closing sound, but it's better on the front. We can see on the front we have adjustable seat belts, and on the top we have all four sides slowly closing handles. We have little hooks on the back, and we have this nice gray, it's not black but it's gray roof liner. You can see the roof. Now on this side you can see the little airplane, touch lights, and you can see the speaker in the background behind that one. This one can be raising up. You see here they made a lot of room. Now for the armrest you got to pull this one. So this one has the integrated headrest. So this is the armrest. I have two cup holders, and you have this. This is nicely soft, but you can take it up. You can see that. Then you have a little textile here. There's extra 2 USBs for fast charging. There's room here for cables. Now you can rearrange these like that. So you can put a tablet here, and that's that. So great. There's also a little room here. If you knock this one down, this is how the back end looks here. So this hole attaches to that top. So click in. But if you want to knock down, you pull this tab, and then here you also have to excel in a big armrest, but you can put some longer objects behind you. You can see the speaker and the rear shelf. Now these are nicely profiled and deep, and they're comfortable for 2 people in the back. Yes, you can squeeze a third person for a short journey, but I think it's more comfortable for 2 people. Beautiful interior, and a lot of light coming in even when this is not fully transparent. Headroom, I'm actually fine. I'm touching the top, but if I want to really straighten up, I'm missing a little bit because it's sloping down. Sportback, but for an average person, if you're like 185, even 190, 95, I think it would be fine. If you're 2 meters like me, then you're touching the top if you're 200. Now, view at the front, and let's move to the front. Try not to make this video too long, but to be detailed enough. So better closing sound on the front, slightly heavier doors. That's usually the case. These open very nice. You saw that open R-Link. There's a little animation there when you open the doors. Here's your tire pressure. Pay attention, you have to have a high tire pressure when you have a fully loaded car for safety, if you need to avoid stuff like moves at higher speeds. Now, this is nice and soft. We have ambient lights on the front. Same materials for the rest. Labeled Harman Kardon speakers. So speaker here at the bottom. Big pockets. You can fold the mirrors, although they fold when you lock the car and unfold when you unlock. Fully automatic windows. You can disable the rear if you have kids. Here we can see Alpine aluminum doorstep. We also have the carpets, sport paddles. There's another speaker right there. Now moving to the top here, we have parking brake, and engages automatically and disengages as well. Auto hold. There's a little room here for maybe garage opener. My personal safety on or off, traction control on or off, power tailgate open and close, and you can see here opens. There's a fuel cap. If you open this, put it here. In Croatia, minimum 95 RON, and 98 is the top you need. You don't need 100. Okay, we have beautiful blue carpets, so it kind of looks again more posh. Steering column is manual. We have the sport paddles for recuperation attached to the steering wheel. You can see here automatic long beam view at the top. Now check out the seats. We have powered seats, back and forward, up and down. The knee area doesn't go up and down. We have a tilt, and we have lumbar. This one's for massage option, so you can engage it, but you have to disengage it in the infotainment. These are the seats. There's no manual extension here for the knee areas, but big bolsters at the bottom and the top. Beautiful leather. You have the Alpine signature there. You can see the big headrest. So it looks amazing. Now let's sit inside. better closing sound on the front. Switching to wide lens. Now this animation is cool for the first time, but you can disable it if you get bored. So that's that. Now this is in power saving mode. And yes, the screens do flicker on the camera a little bit, but in person that's not the case. There will be point of view driving with no talking. And I did almost the entire drive electric. When I've kicked it to sport, it kicked the petrol, but then I went back to the electric. So let's zoom back in. Now, quick focus on the steering wheel, since I did cover this in Barcelona. Nice and smooth leather, flat top and bottom, 3-spoke, Alcantara in the bottom part. On the inside, we have those contrast stitching in colors. Now, beautiful new badge, nice and physical buttons, cruise control settings, infotainment, trip computer is here, views for the digital cockpit and driving modes. You can see here there's a little remote for the volume sources, the recuperation paddles, and you can see light switch, keep it on automatic, wipers, and automatic up and down. There's here port park B button. We have here closed open air circulation. We saw this digital cockpit and the new infotainment in some new models. So we're gonna come back to it in a moment. So this is soft and then this is hard, but this is soft. So you can hear that. There's a speaker there. There's an air vent to the side. This is in gray. And on the top, you can see here another label, Harman Kardon, 12 speakers. There's on the back in the left side and subwoofer. So I think it was 485 watts. A very good sound system. There's that piece only on that side on the right. Not really sure what that's for, but I noticed it. You can see the infotainment. We're gonna turn it on in a moment. Passengers can turn it on and off here and control the volume. Start stop button, AC controls, and just to check here, so this is the soft part of the dash. We have this, looks very nice. Air vents for the passenger on the front. Slowly opening glove compartment. Now let me show you here the price. Try sit down first. Okay, Renault Rafale Atelier Alpine E-Tech plug-in hybrid 4x4, 300 horsepower. Base price is almost 60,000 euros, including 25% value added tax. There are 4,350 worth of options, including the satin blue Alpine Pearl with a black roof, Harman Kardon 850, home charger 200. We have the panoramic roof 1,500, and we have the 7 kilowatt. It's actually 7.3 AC charger cable, 300 euros. Rounds up to 64,340. This is including the 25% value added tax and a CO2 tax, which is low in this car, but you can get a incentive for this car because it's a plug-in hybrid. I think it was around 5,000 euros, but I forgot from top of my head now. So that is that. Now have in mind this is a top spec and top trim. You get some books here. You can see the glove compartment is nice and spacious. This is black flint, this is blue, so I'm not sure. Maybe it would be cool if they added this in blue as well, but that's fine. Now, moving down here, we have two USB-Cs for media, full outlet on the front, a little rubber mat, two adjustable cup holders. You can take out the mat and clean it out if you have any food crumbles that got in. This is hard, but it's covered by leather and stitching. Now we have this like an armrest. There's a button for EV mode, so you can switch to full EV, hybrid, and e-save. That will tell the system not to deplete the battery below 30 or 40%. So if you're going or planning going uphill, you can use the full power. So if you're towing, for example, that's one of the cases. Wireless charger, you have a little light here, tells you when the phone is charging. When it's fully charged, it'll disengage so it won't overheat your phone. This can be moved. And there is a huge space here This is nice and soft. If you press here, there's a lot of room. There's no cooling, but you can see my fingers here, so there's a little extra room inside there, and if you put cables, this won't squash them, and this is nice and soft. Front seat, Isofix here. There's another tether point behind the bottom part. You saw those, and these are really comfortable. And now back view, because of that middle integrated headrest, is a bit almost useless, but you can see here, you can see further behind you. You have nice big mirrors, so it's easy to park this car because you also have those cameras. We're going to turn them in a moment on. Auto dimming, premium looking mirror, baseless. Passenger airbag information and seat belts. Now here you can press. There's this nice rubberized material. You can put your sunglasses here or driving glasses. And if you push it here, then just let it drop. Wait, actually, yeah, like that. It stops, and then you have this mirror. So if you're a dad or a mom, you can see your kids in the back. Also, if you're a cab driver, you can see that. It's better than this in that case. Touch lights. These are some temperature sensors. Emergency call. I guess this also includes road assistance since there's no dedicated button. And then this one is for the undimming. So we're going to see that because when you turn off the car, it's always going to be dimmed. So for some privacy. Documents holder, the light comes on when you open the beauty mirror, and this does not extend. If you want to extend it, that's not the case. Headspace on the front, plenty of headspace, so I could go a little bit up, but I went a little bit down, but I found my ideal position. I can see the hood, and you're nice and tall, good overview around the car, and you can see the hood, so you feel a bit safer because of that. Now cutting in, you can see here the transparent roof. Now if I press the button, it's going to dim, and now you won't be able to see the trees. You have two segments, so you can dim in the first half and the entire top. You can also see here, if I undim it, you can see the top. Now it's a little bit hazy, it's not fully transparent because of those crystal layers again. By changing the current, you are changing the crystal orientation, so they're letting light or blocking it. That is that. By default, when you switch off the car, this will dim it out for privacy. Now I'm going to press the brake, turn on the car. The brake will depress inside a little bit. Now I've depleted the battery. I've been driving for almost 80 to 90 kilometers fully electric, including my point of view driving, so it engaged the petrol now. It's trying to charge the battery a little bit. And this was more than 500 range on the fuel, but I'm gonna do tonight fuel test with the empty battery, and then I'm gonna charge the battery. I'm gonna do some traveling to a different city and see combined fuel consumption and what we can get out of this. Now, this is the new digital cockpit. You have these, you can, and you have these arrows. So if you use the arrows here, you can see if I go from the very top, radio station, and eco monitor, energy flow, distance, or the trip computer, fuel consumption. Now this is, I didn't reset. You can see here in 5,000 kilometers, 2.4 is the fuel consumption. That's assuming you charge the battery. Power consumption went up high, but I think it should be lower in reality. And water temperature, and then this is the default. If you don't have the trip computer on the side, you can use these. Now you have maps. If you turn these on, it's shrinked. Here you have the lane assist, or you can have it in the middle if you use this. And then you can have this one like minimal, or if you remove that, it's in the center. And then you can have this one, which includes like how much power you're using or charging. That is that. When I pick up the car, it was fully charged. It says here 72 kilometers, but I think it actually depends on how much you have driven electric. It's going to increase the range. Now here you can see recuperation. With these paddles, you can decrease. This is the minimum. This is the default. Every time you start the car, it's going to be in this and you can increase. I like personally this, so it's not super aggressive, but there's enough for one pedal driving. The default is very mild recuperation, and you can like minimize it if you want to coast. So that's for the digital cockpit. It looks great, doesn't flicker too much. Now moving to this one, it does flicker on the maps because it has a higher refresh rate. The maps look, I'm trying to get like an angle that would stabilize, but I'm just sorry you can't do that. The maps are really fast and responsive. Google Maps. We also have the Google Voice Assistant, actually this one, so it works great. Let's say here, set temperature to 21.
All right, changing the temperature to 21 degrees.
So it works great. Now here you can see radio stations. So we have the sources, FM and DAB. Let's play some music here. I can't play for too long, but it's a great sound system, nice and deep and sound, so it looks really great. You can here have different type of sound, balance, front, centered, or manual, tone control, subwoofer, volume, speed. All the good stuff is here. Now, just to focus here on the AC controls, up and down, you can sync, so it's a dual zone. You can sync the front passenger, heated steering wheel, heated seats, 3 levels, heated front windshield, and you can choose the direction. If you want to turn it off, you just need to lower the fan like that. Here you can change to automatic. If you go up, it's fast or soft. I like to keep it on automatic. You can lock, you can lock the car and turn on the hazards, but the car will lock itself when you start driving about 5 kilometers or 10. And then when you slow down or put it in P, it's going to unlock. Okay, you can use Bluetooth. I haven't connected. You have this pull down menu, hill decent control, hands-free parking, and here you have the apps. So this is R-Link 2nd generation. You can download apps like Waze or Spotify. You have Android and Apple CarPlay, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, but I haven't connected. But I did that in some other reviews. You can check that out on the channel. There are settings here. You can here change the system and then language and so on. This has over-the-air updates, so you don't have to visit the service or the dealer. The petrol has kicked in again. I'm not sure if you can hear that. I know there's a lot of reflection here. It's just, in reality, it really doesn't matter to me. I'm just focused on the icons and everything, so it should be same for you. You have here driving modes, comfort, eco, so this changes the themes as well. You can configure all of them. Engine, you can have normal, sport, or eco. Steering, low, medium, or high. Chase, so this is really interesting. You can see here it's a camera based. It could be comfort setting. You can see here the springs or the dampeners, then it could be dynamic, it's a little bit more stiff, and then it's sport, super stiff. I like to keep it in the comfort. Life on board, you can play here with the ambient lights. You can put another color. I've put the complementary color of the blue, which is orange. You can just press OK to save. You can have the brightness and climate, eco or normal. Maybe you want to go to eco if you want to use maximally the battery, I guess. Electric drive, here you have, you can add a timer for charging if you're charging at home. Pedestrian warning, here you can have different pedestrian warning sounds. 360 camera, now very detailed cameras. You have angles when you move the steering, you have different views. You can see here the wheels. Again, we have a rear axle. It can turn to 5 degrees as well, so you have a really short U-turn if you need to do that. Here you can have the avatar. It's in white color, not the color of the vehicle, but it's fine, I guess. And seats, here you have, if you press that button I've mentioned, the little silver one, you're going to engage the lumbar massage. You have the driving position, visual feedback, and easy access. Here you have that for the passenger. You can set positions, and you have a hands-free parking. I'm not going to demonstrate that because I believe you need to be able to park the car in order to have license. This is just an aid, but I don't use it. Air quality, you can engage the purify inside the cabin. My driving is your score, eco safety. This is the fuel consumption. I started charging the battery now, and I can see that it has gained 1 kilometer range. But you should charge this car with the outlet, otherwise it makes no sense, just burning more fuel. But I did, again, almost 90 kilometers with 0 fuel consumption and just power consumption. Now, this is another shortcut for those settings that I showed you. Dynamic chases, here you can see the angle. When you're driving, these engage, they don't engage in parking. And you can also see when it switches to front wheel drive and rear wheel drive, because it's using those electric motors for the most time when you're driving EV, and then when the petrol kicks in, it's driving on the front. Here you have also downhill assist. There is next here to the driving mode little icon, and this is another shortcut for the cameras. Vehicle, for the last, here we have access, welcome. This is where you can, like Matrix, where you can disable the open R-Link introduction. When you turn on the car, you can have manual or automatic brightness. You can have indicator turn signals, volume. Here you can customize the asterisk here. Someone set it to lumbar. You can edit these widgets what you want, so you can have more icons here, these 2 big ones. And tire pressure. So that's that. That's the whole infotainment. It's not super complicated, and it's very nice. When petrol is charging the battery, it's not super loud like on Captur. Slightly less loud, but you can still hear it. When it starts charging, I believe it's less loud. It was in the Captur, for example, but when you're driving, you can hear it less. It has a really good soundproofing here from the engine block, but I was driving mostly electric, so in that case I didn't really hear it. And it's really nice and quiet in this car. It's super windy, as you can see here on the trees today, and really good soundproof in the car. That is that. You can hear pressed as well for the driving mode, so you can see here they slide here. You can adjust it to one of you like, and not to forget here EV mode button, so you can see here hybrid, electric, or e-save. Now it won't let me choose electric because it's, I guess, too low state of charge. That is that. I'm gonna switch it off, and here you have a big light, but it goes off when you put a seat belt, and it will engage every time you start the car, but it will disengage later. Another thing here, you can press twice. Let me just show that before I actually wrap it up. Actually, let me close the doors. So you have this button, you can press it twice, and it will engage My Safety Personal. Now, one thing I've actually forgot here, I just skipped it, I just realized that now. Driving assistance, that's one thing we've missed. Here you can set warnings, you set configure. Now, all of these are switched off. Most journalists don't like lane departure, emergency lane departure, driver monitor, but limit change sound and overspeed limit is something that's really pesky, so that's something you can disable in the personal setting. And then here, it's gonna reset every time you start the car, but you can just press twice quickly, and it will disable the pesky sound. So you can have that. You can see these, and for the parking, when you're reversing, there's gonna be like red arrows like these in the camera to warn you there's an incoming rear traffic. So that's that. So that's the whole car and the whole infotainment. You can hear now the petrol has switched off. So that's that. And I've noticed for 3 kilometer range, it used around 5 kilometers, give or take, of fuel range. So again, you should charge your car, and you should not rely on the petrol charging it. Just for the very end, pop the bonnet. I actually wanted to lower the time of this video. It's long, but I haven't really succeeded too much. So I tried my best. You have the dampeners. You can see here again, 3-cylinder turbocharged petrol, 150 horsepower. This is the front electric motor. There's a second one on the rear axle. And here's your washer fluid. There's a big sign here. I believe there was another one, not to pressure wash the top. So that is that. Let it drop and closes perfectly. So thank you for watching, and hope to see you in the next video. If you like this video, give it a like, share it, leave a comment, things that algorithm likes, because it's gonna share that video maybe to someone else who's looking at the new Rafale. So help me out, help them out, and help the community out. Hope to see you in the next video. If you like this video, do subscribe, click the bell. It's completely free subscription, so just gonna get notified when I upload more videos. There's gonna be a separate video of the night tour, day point of view driving, night point of view driving with my impressions and consumption. So stay tuned for more. See you in the next one. Bye.